Okay. I've got my script on my phone, so don't judge me. And yeah, I'm still doing this. I have always been a fan of comics. Though I've recently started this YouTube channel talking about comics, I've been a fan since I was a child. I'd get the random selection of comics for Christmas, birthdays, whatever. But in the last 8 months, I started collecting comics again. And this is through new series drawing me in, like the Transformers Skybound and the Absolute DC universe. And since then, my comic book collection has significantly increased. I went from about 30 to 80 within a couple of months. This led me to the intense world of comictok and how serious collecting really is. New comics every week, hundreds of covers to buy, thousands of people wanting to join in. This isn't just a trend, this is a phenomenon. So this video is an investigation, a kind of deep dive, a informative creation about the world of comictok.
21.
I also want to make clear that this video is about the little guy, like me, not the big channels that get brand deals. It's about the TikTokers, everyday people who go to the shop, buy comics, and decide to post about it online. Also, whilst doing this, I'm going to go through my own collection down here. I recently bought a box to put my comic books in to hold my yield. So I'm going to flick through them and talk about myself as well.
21.
Every Wednesday is New Comic Book Day.
New comic book day! New comic book! New comic book day!
That's when the distributors release the new titles and new variant covers of these books for people to buy and collect. And we flock to the shops to buy what we want and then post online about what we got. We buy comics not just to read, but to collect, to admire, and then post about. There are a ton of creators out there right now talking about their fat stacks.
I got a fat stack.
Massive stack for
Fat stack. Fat stack.
On TikTok, I follow so many people that collect and then post about what they got, and every creator has a small following, a respectable following, all of like-minded people, and everyone's posting about what they bought. I mean, if you see people doing it, then you'd want to join in. That's what I've done. But the only difference is with me is that all of the creators seem to have more followers and subscribers than I do, which is interesting because that's me. The YouTuber that told his family that he started a channel and still his subscriber count didn't increase.
Me and fuck your brother.
Anyway, this wave of comic book content puts a spotlight on the immense and impressive business model of the comic book industry. Every week, they've got new titles and new variants for you to collect. But actually, maybe I should take one out of my collection right now. Okay, let me see. Oh yes, perfect. This sums up my point perfectly. Absolute Batman, issue 1, Noir Edition, foil variant. God, that's a mouthful. But it shows you how many versions of an issue you can get. Now, when I went to buy this in the shop, I went in to pick up issue 1 of Batman, but it wasn't there. But they did have the black and white version. So I picked this up and then, yes, issue number 2 in the same day. After this, I followed the series for the next 5 months until the arc just ended. And that was after 6 issues. I knew I had to tap out after I got satisfied with the story, or else it would never end because the issues are still being released. But if I didn't tap out, then I'd just keep following on. But essentially, to be honest, I only tapped out so that I could follow other series. I only stopped buying Absolute Batman so I could buy more comics. So it doesn't really show self-control. Either way, this shows my point because my collection would be incomplete to the avid comic collector because my covers don't match. I've got 1 foil variant and then 5 other regular ones afterwards. If you don't stop collecting, it will never end. I mean, just look at the language we use when we talk about our comic purchases.
Had to get it.
And I was gonna do whatever it took to get my hands
Had to get the David Nakayama Superwoman.
I already
cover.
have this one. Not this cover variant.
Was it necessary? No. Is it awesome? Yes.
I had to get this.
We say we have to, we say we need to buy these things, and I do too. I feel like I need to do this, and there is a little part of me that wants to get the full collection of the Absolute Batman series. It never ends, and the distributors use comics not just for their stories to get us hooked, but also as a collectible medium, as a merchandise. They're kind of like Pokemon cards or collectible figures that you need to get the whole set of to feel complete.
Today, I once again fell victim to the variant cover industrial complex.
We have people buying the same comic with just a different cover because they feel like they need to. And I'm so brainwashed right now that I feel like that makes sense. Okay, right now we are gonna quickly take a break from all of that because I wanna go and buy some comics. Hey yo, we are in the spot. I made it. I'm gonna film going in, but the thing is with having a 360 camera, I just feel like when I'm in public and I'm filming, I'm upskirting everyone. And you can't deny it because people be like, you're filming me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm genuinely not filming you. But I kind of am because it's 360 degrees. I'm just gonna go in and out the comic shop, get what I want, if they have it, and then come back in here. I've done it. I picked it up. They were so nice in the shop. It was empty. You know, it's about like, what, 10:30 in the morning, so it's just opened. I was one of the first customers, and I was able to pick up the last Battle Beast blind bag. It was the last one left. I mean, this shop, no one really goes in there for the comics, and I can always see the good covers that are left over that haven't been snatched up. So I thought there'd be loads of these left, but there's actually only one. And it says one per customer, and the guy at the counter said they just put them out yesterday. What? So this is what I got. Battle Beast blind bag. Transformers issue 20. And the Alex Ross cover. Daredevil issue 21. I love Alex Ross. And he's done a few covers, but they're of superheroes that I don't really know. So I wasn't interested in buying them. So I was waiting till one came out of someone that I did know. Iron Fist, I saw that, and it was also Daredevil, which is a comic I have. So it's good to get this one. This is awesome. But now, let's open this. Because if this is any of the special ones and not issue 1, then I'm gonna have to, well, I feel like I have to go back and get issue 1. That's what's happening here. Now, I've seen a lot of people open these with scissors, but you can just tear down the back. Oh yeah, that comes out easily. What is it? 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 Oh! Oh my god! That's amazing. First appearance of Battle Beast. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's crazy because it's an Invincible comic. This is in the first series as well. This is the bit that I've actually seen on telly. I know where your family lives. That's fantastic. Shit, man. Well, I've got to go back and get issue 1. Oh my god, that's amazing. Whoa! And I told the guy in the shop, I was like, well, you're gonna see me again in a few minutes if I open it up and it's not issue 1. I am pretty pleased with that. That is awesome. So, well, I'm gonna head back out. But you see how I'm a slave? Now I have to buy an extra comic book. You know, they put the shackles on me, man. They put the shackles! As much as I love watching people talk about what they get, and I do mean that, everyone is buying the same comic and then making the same video about it.
Next we have Absolute Batman number 8.
Batman number 8.
Absolute Batman issue 8.
Absolute Batman number 8.
We watch people posting what they got and we think we want to join in. And very few people actually touch on what displeases them about the industry and how expensive it can be. Despite people posting all these videos about what they get, very few actually talk about what they think about the stories or apply any critical thinking to the narratives.
It was kind of very political in a certain way. So it's essentially just like corruption and stuff like that within politics and things like that, which is like super relevant at the moment.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to. But I still like watching them. It's just so hypnotic seeing someone flick through what they get, even though I've seen the same video about 5 times this week, just from different people. Someone can get the message through just in a simple slideshow. I mean, this guy, that's what he does. I quite like it. I think it's awesome to see someone post something unique to them and see how it works. There are some really talented people out there on comictok that do awesome things, and you don't have to analyze every comic. You don't need to tell everyone what you think either. But on that note, how about I pull another book from my collection?
My collection.
I'm gonna go from the very start of the box. Can you tell they're alphabetized? Amazing fantasy. Wow, perfect segue onto my next point. Comics are America. Everything about them is American, whether it is the overconsumption of mass media or the fact that all these stories take place in America. This is Kevin Smith talking about what Stan Lee thinks about comic books, what he wanted to do with comic books.
Like, I remember talking to him, interviewing him at one point, and he was like, well, I really wanted to write the great American novel. And I was like, Stan, you did. Like, you just didn't do it as a book. You did it with the Marvel Universe. It's our modern fucking mythology.
These stories are written by Americans, about Americans, for Americans. It's mostly an American demographic. It makes sense that they do that. In the UK, comic books aren't that popular and people don't really buy them. When I was a kid growing up, the best place to get them was off eBay. That's where I got this one from, in a random bag of comics. I've seen someone on TikTok say this in the comment section about their country. And this guy I mentioned earlier said this about England.
So terrified I was going to miss out on even getting an issue 1 of this, just because I ended up getting to my comic book shop a day late. But luckily, the UK is just not America when it comes to comics, man.
Which kind of links to what I was talking about in the car. I'd never experienced something before being sold out. And that Battle Beast bag was the last one left, and I'd never seen a 1 per customer sticker either. You just don't really get things sold out because no one in England is flocking to the comic book shops like they are in America. So why should the stories focus on anything else other than America? It just shows how America still sort of is the center of the world. I do find it funny though that we've got a bunch of foreigners, people in different countries reading these stories about America and not understanding every word. I don't know what a Groupon is. I don't know what Cocoa Melon is. And I'm not sure what is special about Seattle. But anyway, Amazing Fantasy. This is more about American politics than you think. All of these stories that we're reading have undertones of American politics in them. Absolute Batman, that's about wealth disparity, corporate corruption, gun crime even. Amazing Fantasy is a little more about identity politics. And this came out 21 years ago. It may have aged a little bit. This story follows Anya Corazon, 15-year-old high schooler from New York that gets imbued with Spider-Man's powers, and she wakes up in this issue with amnesia. You're following her in this book, slowly realizing that something's wrong and she doesn't know what it is. Her name, Anya Corazon, Corazon meaning heart in Spanish, as in she is a superhero with heart, so she's a good person. It's a little gimmicky. It's not really a common surname amongst Hispanic people, and the fact that it's written by an all-American writer just sort of makes it feel like it's a little bit misinformed, but at the time it was Latinx representation. Also, she's 15 years old. In this book, they strip her off on 3 separate occasions. Why would you do that? Whether it's the sexualization of a minor or materialistic social activism, this kind of shows you how of the era it is and hasn't really aged well in the last 20 years. But I still think at the time it was a step forward. So who knows, maybe Absolute Batman in 20 years' time will feel like it's missed the mark with its political message. But either way, we're all reading American stories and we're all absorbing their politics. It's all American-centric social politics, and that's absolutely fine because it's targeted at a predominant American demographic. I like America. I can do an impression of an American person if you want. My bitch be moving a bit like Michael Jordan. My bitch be moving a bit like Michael Jordan. My bitch be moving a bit like Michael Jordan. My bitch be moving a bit like Michael Jordan. My bitch be moving like a... That's going on the internet. All this mention of social politics and opinions sort of just begs the question. They do. The comic talkers care. Everyone cares. This is a very passionate community. Everyone is motivated enough to go online and post about what they've done in the last week, going out and buying comic books. They howl their battle cry.
New comic book day!
There is no longer any stigma about liking comic books. No one's afraid to be a nerd. This is now just another hobby. And a lot of people want to get started. There is a lot of videos from these comic talkers talking about how to get started for newcomers into the motherfucking community. I myself am a bit of a loser. I like studying. I like looking into the deeper meaning of stories and whatnot. But it's a great casual thing just to get into. Pick up a single issue of a comic book if you can find it and just read. Talking about consumerism and feeling the need. After I started this YouTube channel about reading comics, I've started buying a lot more because I feel like I have to. And since I've adopted the name No Scope Nightwing 9+10, I realized I didn't actually have a Nightwing comic. So I felt like I had to buy one. This bad boy, which I haven't actually read yet. But this is just a single issue that I bought casually. Comic Talk is made of creators that have the confidence to talk about what they're interested in. I myself am not an avid collector. I've told you my boundaries about how I'm trying to stop getting addicted, because there is a fine line of enjoying something and then doing something just to get a quick hit of dopamine through a quick purchase. And there's a big risk of doing that with Comic Talk. But all of this talk on the internet, all of this jargon and trends, it can be a little bit pressuring. It can feel like a lot is going on in your head. So if you ever feel overwhelmed by it, I also have the solution for that. To close off, I'd just like to say that I have been a fan of comics for years, but since finding Comic Talk, I found a new way to enjoy collecting, and it's been a really positive experience. Sending love to all of the creators whose videos I've used in this without asking. I am sorry about that. I hope you don't mind. Thank you so much. I have credited everyone in the description and at the end of this video. If I'm just leaving a little bit of advice for people wanting to get into comic talks or people enjoying it right now, my advice is just to keep your head screwed on. Don't get lost in the collection because you may end up acting silly. I myself never act silly. And that is No Scope Nightwing 9+10 signing off.